Hey guys, I am back and I have a really cool unboxing video today for you. This is the 1/32nd scale TIE Fighter. And this is the first, and will hopefully be quite a few model kits, in the Studio Series line. This is kind of a new line that Round 2 is being put out. Now this is still under the AMT banner, but it is an all new Star Wars model kit. And boy, Round 2 is really coming up with some great models these days. So we have this, which is going to be a really incredible model kit. But then we also have the Kronos 1 Katinga update for the Star Trek model kits. We have the updated Millennium Falcon, which I'm still working on. I should have another video for that kit by the end of the week. We've also had the TIE Interceptor, which is a really cool update to a classic kit. We've had the Bad Batch shuttle, which was phenomenal. And of course, last year we had the Razor Crest. So we've really learned that when AMT and Round 2 do some new tooling and new model kits, they really turn out in a fantastic way. So very excited about this model kit. And this should be a big model kit. Now, just from holding the box, this is a heavy model kit. There is a lot going on here. For the box size, this is a heavy one. So I think there's a lot in here. Let's take a look here. So first, we can see 13 inches tall, so more than a foot. It's 1/32nd scale. That's pretty big. I wish I had an X-Wing that big. I think my biggest X-Wing is like a 1/48. So it'll probably look good with this, but not really in the same scale. All new Star Wars model kit from AMT. Of course, you can see some really gorgeous art across the top of the box. All right, so optional clear cockpit window parts. And I like that. I think that means we can just do the framing if we want to. Exterior small marking decals. Complete interior with pilot and controls. And that looks like a much more accurate cockpit than what we've got in a lot of other TIE fighters. Authentic details that match the studio miniature shown on screen. And clear parts for custom lighting with a removable hatch. All right, so yeah, we'll see what it's like to actually light this. See how feasible it is. Okay, large 1/32nd scale, and yeah, I think it's going to be big. Based on the filming miniatures used on A New Hope. Interior cockpit with pilot, custom parts for lighting, yep. Display with supplied dome, or use optional cap to display without base, water slide decals, and a full color placement guide. All right, there you can see a little bit of what the decal sheet will look like. We'll see that in a minute. Let's get this open. Okay, starting off, we've got a pretty nice dome base. This is a bigger one, and it is hollow. So if we want to do lighting out to the base, we can do it with this. All right, here are our clear parts. And these parts look like they'll be for the front of the cockpit and for the top hatch. I don't plan on using those. When ILM had their studio models, they had the frames. They didn't use clear plastic on those parts so you could see into the cockpit. That's what I plan on doing. Here we have our clear parts for the cannons, and I'm very excited about those because it really looks like the clear parts are going to go back into the cabin. And if we can see here, it looks like they are hollow a little bit, so we'll be able to put a little LED right up against that back part to light them up. Should be pretty easy to do. And this looks like it's probably the back wall for the cockpit. So maybe we'll light up some of the panels there. Or, maybe that's the floor. I guess we'll have to look at the instructions to kind of see where that is. But clear parts, so that should help with lighting. If that is the floor, that might be kind of nice. Put some light up from the bottom to shine into the cockpit. It's really becoming clear how big this model kit is going to be. So here's my classic kind of vintage TIE Fighter that I've built up on the channel. Let's take a look at this. All right, and now look at the parts in this new kit. Take a look at how much bigger that is. This model is going to be hefty, but also take a look at the incredible detail on this. Tons of detail and greebly, and it should be completely accurate to the shooting model. that's a good looking part. Here's our top hatch. All right, there's our cockpit frame. That's all I'm going to use. I'm not going to need to put any glass behind it. Here's our top hatch, and here's a really nice part. That is going to mean the interior of our cockpit, when we're looking up at the roof from the inside, won't be plain. It won't be the underside here with injection pin marks. It's going to have really nice detail even on the interior. Here is our bottom for the TIE Fighter. Of course, you can see it's got a really nice post to hold the weight and hold it on that stand. All right, we even have kind of an entire interior shell here for the cockpit with those really nice geometric shapes and angles that were so prevalent on the shooting interior for the TIE Fighter. All right, once again, that's kind of a difference in the scale. You can see those interior kind of parts for the TIE Fighter wing there versus the classic kit. And then some really good looks at that outer cockpit control panel. And of course, those little hubcaps for the outside. Just once again, tons of great detail. And really, you're going to build the entire interior cockpit and then put the outer TIE Fighter around it. It's going to look good. Now, this next part, you know, I can't explain how kind of stupid excited I am about this because it's a small thing, but I'm really thankful for it. The inserts for the TIE Fighter wings are separate from the frame. So, yeah. Take a look at the detail here. Very nice engraved lines, tons of great detailing. But what I'm excited about is I won't have to mask those off. I'm going to paint these black, paint everything else gray, and then put it together. I won't have to mask off those wings. I can paint them separately. Here's kind of all those frame pieces that are going to go around the outside of those TIE Fighter wings. Yeah, lots of parts here. I'm just going to be interested to see how well these build up and how well they hold their shape. This looks like a bag for the other wing. So kind of probably duplicates of these parts. We're not going to open that one up in that case. All right, we have 2 more bags of wing parts. So just more of those sail pieces and panels, more of those little framework parts are going to go all the way around the outside. So a large part of this is building up those wings. And yeah, that's going to be huge. That has a big difference. I can't wait to see how big this is. And now we really come to those main outer hull pieces for our TIE Fighter. All right, so nice panel lines coming across the front of it. Very nice, clean panel lines here. So hopefully they'll hold a nice weather without having to really smudge the ship up much. Nice, clean shapes. That's going to look really good. And once again, yeah, do I need to say it again? Huge. This is going to be a huge TIE Fighter. Man, not only is this going to be huge, this is going to be really well detailed. Take a look at this. So take a look at this. So that's kind of like the control yoke and controls for the inside of the cockpit. Tons of, I think these are other little controls there for maneuvering. Yeah, another little control there. And of course, we're all familiar with these shapes. These are some of the exterior greeblies. They're going to go on the outside of the TIE Fighter. So pieces like this, separate little details. That's this piece right here. So just take a look at how well detailed that is and how good that's going to look as a separate piece on the outside of the ship. Yeah, just tons of little shapes here that we're going to be putting on. Okay. Oh, that's got to be like the pilot's chair right here. Now, since these should be the rear thrusters and they've got a hole there, so we've got to have a clear part so those rear thrusters can light up. Of course, once again, we know these shapes from the outside of the TIE Fighter. Here's our pilot. Hey, that's kind of cool. His breathing apparatus is a separate piece. But yeah, really, really well molded. Very well done. Yeah, lots of parts on this. I don't think the box said how many parts were on this, but it's a lot. All right, so we're looking at the inner box now, and you can see, like they've done for so long, we have our full color pictures here with lots of decal markings. Little note that the blasters were painted orange but shot green beams, so do it whichever way you like. There's our pilot. And, you know, the color scheme they're showing on the box is for A New Hope. It's more gray than it is blue, like it is in the other movies. Your choice how you do it. I am a fan of bluish TIE fighters, so don't hold it against me if that's the way I go. And there you can see we've got the decals and kind of the layout. So yeah, that floor, that clear part was for the floor. Yeah, maybe we'll shoot some light up to the cockpit through that clear part. All right, here's our decal sheet. Of course, you can see those control panels that are going through or go across the back of the cockpit. This is kind of cool for that rear window. We can either make it look like we're looking through it towards a starfield or the back of the Death Star trench. I don't know if I want that because that means this is one of the guys shot down by Han Solo. I don't know if I'm going to consign my ship to that fate. All right, tons of little marking decals that will go across the ship. Yeah, that's cool. This is going to be the best looking TIE fighter interior I've seen in a while. All right, let's see if there's anything we can kind of determine from the instructions. So yeah, you know, pretty simple layout for the cockpit, assembling the pilot. Yeah, we're going to... Yeah, I guess a lot of greeblies are going to go on the inside of the cockpit. And we're going to build that entire kind of egg for the pilot to sit in. They will get mounted within the outer shell of the TIE fighter. All the greeblies are going to go around the outside, front and back. Yep, lots of little pieces covering up seams. All right, there are our clear parts installed for the front and the top. More greeblies closing things up, and a little cover if we're not going to do the dome base. All right, I'm really interested in building these wings. Now that I know this outer frame isn't done as an entire frame, it's going to be framework pieces going all the way around. Very excited to see how sturdy that is. They wouldn't have done it this way unless they knew it would be sturdy, so I'm sure it will be. Yeah, and then just put the wings on the main body, put it on the dome base. So, yeah, here's some of the other kits they've done. Man, the Bad Batch shuttle, the Razor Crest, those were fantastic, complete new toolings. And of course, the Falcon I'm working on right now. It's sitting on the other side of the room, waiting to be weathered. Yeah, you know, that's an updated kit, not quite up to the level of the brand new kits, but very nice. You know, I'm really excited about this kit. They talk a lot on the box about doing your own lighting for it. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to see how well it works. I guess all I'd really want is to light up the blasters. I guess the blasters are missing from this TIE fighter. Here are those rear thrusters where we saw they have a clear part that can go on the back. So I'll try and light up those clear parts. And I'll try and get light into the actual cockpit. So hopefully, if that egg we're building around the pilot and the cockpit gives us kind of some room underneath, a little bit of a basement to hide some wires, that would be really nice. Yeah, hopefully shine some light up from the bottom. Then you'll have light coming in from the top. That'll light the cockpit. And if we get a little bit of a basement in there, we'll be able to put some little LEDs. Well, with this kit, they don't really need to be too little, do they? We'll be able to put some LEDs to light the blasters. And yeah, we'll just have to see how much room is in between that egg and the outside wall. So we'll see what we can do to light these rear thrusters here. I guess these are maneuvering thrusters, and these would be the real thrusters. By the way, I've got clear parts for these, so I'm going to light those up. And once again, boom. That is a big, big update for this kit. This thing is gonna be huge. It's gonna need a whole shelf of its own. I'm really excited to work on this model kit. It looks intense. There's a lot of parts here. And then, of course, painting it and kind of detailing it. Probably more detailing than weathering on a model kit like this. I feel like this is a kit and a ship that the Imperial Army is going to keep in tip-top shape. Always nice to work on a brand new kit. You know the fit is going to be fantastic. So honestly, I should probably be back working on my Falcon right now, but I'm just so intrigued with how these wings are going to go together. So let me take a minute and get all of these off the sprue. As always, I'll point out this looks much darker in this light. The gray is actually much brighter than it will show up here against the white. But these parts of the wings really fit together like puzzle pieces. So I gotta make sure I've really trimmed all the little parts from the sprue. The fit is so nice. If you do have any little extra bits of plastic there, it will get in the way. And you want a very nice flat surface. All right, we're going to put this piece on. You can see it has 4 posts. Those are going to fit into these 4 holes. That will start holding everything together. These are some of the outside frame parts. And you can see one will have posts, one will have holes. And a post right here will fit into like our little cap. So just working on these 3 pieces to start. We can hold those real tight. All right, looking on the back side, you can see we have posts sticking up both here from the hub and little posts coming along that seam. So the post from the hub, that's for the other side of the hub. You can see it will have holes, so we can line that up. Okay, squeeze those together. That starts holding things pretty tight. And then we can come in. This will have 1 post for a hole there on the hub. Oh, wonderful fit. So that is showing you a little bit about the construction of the wings. Of course, we can we'll have to get all the panels in before we close it up with the hub. But you could start on one side, glue all the panels to one hub, start laying the frames down to hold everything tight and in place. And then you'll have pieces like this. I think this actually belongs over here. But it's an end cap that's going to lay on top of the wing panels to complete that outside frame. So very cool construction. It really does seem sturdy with everything kind of really sandwiched in between these 2 really beefy hubs. But this is making me rethink my plan of painting everything and then assembling. I kind of think I want to do all the assembly unpainted just so I can do some really nice gluing surfaces and not have to worry about trying to glue over parts that have been painted. So yeah, I might be back to masking off those wings, but just I want to show you guys this construction because it is really cool and it really does let you have some really nicely detailed parts, and it does let you have those sail panels separate from the frames in case you do want to paint things separately. But that should hopefully give you a taste of what construction will be like on this model kit. All right, guys, hopefully this unboxing video gave you a good idea of what is in this model kit and an idea of how big and intense it really is. If they continue this Studio Series line, they might be some of the best Star Wars models we've ever gotten. The quality so far in these parts is fantastic. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking this might be a weekend build for me. I'm still working on the Millennium Falcon. I'm trying to build, paint, and weather a Millennium Falcon kit in about 2.5 weeks. That's a tough job. I thought maybe I'd wrap up the Falcon this week and do this over the course of a weekend. That's not going to happen now that I see everything involved in this model kit. I will try and build it as quickly as I can, but a kit like this deserves to be lit, so I'm going to light it. And as soon as I finish this, I've got to start working on the Kronos 1 Katinga. I don't know, I thought maybe I'd build this and be starting on the Katinga next week, or the Kronos 1 next week, but we'll see how long this kit takes. You know, with engineering like this, maybe it'll build up real quick, and I'll be surprised how quick all the greeblies go on. But I will build this on the channel. I'll build this right after the Millennium Falcon. I don't know, I'll pair it up with my 148th X-Wing and kind of see if they look good together, or see if this just utterly dwarfs it. But yeah, I think this is a great model kit, fantastic engineering. It should be a really fun build with everything that goes into it. And thank you guys for following the channel. Thank you to AMT and Round 2 for letting me work on this review copy. I'm really excited and grateful to get to do it. And once again, I just really hope this helps all of you following the channel to get an idea of what these kits are like, get an idea of the different quality between some of them, to help you make your buying decisions and help you plan out your builds. If it's helping you, I'm glad it is. Thank you guys for following the channel. We'll be back with a Millennium Falcon build later in the week. And then we're straight on to this, the 1/32nd scale TIE Fighter, the first in the AMT Studio series.